You're never supposed to start shows by telling everyone that you're not good at starting shows, so I'm just not going to say it and hope no one notices. My name is Nathan Selove. I'm an autistic, studying communication. I know I have a disability that affects my ability to communicate, so I had the brilliant idea to major in communication. There's always a mix of assumptions and sometimes feelings of pity that come out when I tell people I'm autistic. One woman I told practically started crying.
I am so sorry.
You should be. It's all your fault.
Kids these days.
Another common assumption is that we aren't romantic. My mother is a sex therapist, and one of her specialties is studying the sexuality of people on the autism spectrum. Yeah, some parents have a candy bowl in their kitchen. Others have a cookie jar. Mine had a condom basket. Anyways, one time she was talking to one of her colleagues about her area of specialty, and he asked her,
"Why would you study that? Autistics don't have sex."
Yes, we do. Just trust me on this one. Autism is 90% genetic, so if we don't have sex, then where the hell did we come from? And if talking about disabled sex makes you feel uncomfortable, let me just say, I have tried sex with non-autistics, and I'm not impressed. You're always talking during sex. To God, to Daddy. One time, this girl shouted out the name of her cat. It was a very delineative name. Now, it is true that autistics are more likely to be asexual than the general population, but that number is still pretty small. Being autistic and trying to operate in a romantic world built by neurotypicals is hard. For those of you that don't know what that means, neurotypical means that you don't have any special powers when it comes to the way you think. It's the autistic community's equivalent of saying you're a muggle. I've had more romances and I have had more romantic attachments than I am proud of. But I've also learned how to date neurotypicals. And as luck would have it, I met someone. I was really happy when I first met her. I had just gotten rejected by a girl that I had had a bit of a crush on. Upset, I decided then to stop pursuing a relationship. My brother asked me if I wanted to come to this yard party that his friend was hosting. I figured, why not? Jess was a roommate that lived at the house. Like many millennial love stories, this one starts with one of the most intimate questions a person can ask.
Does anyone have a phone charger I can borrow?
Yeah, mine's plugged into the wall over there. Go for it.
Thanks. I'm Nathan, by the way.
Jess.
And the moment I saw her, I knew that I wanted to know her political views to see how compatible we were. My brother's friend asked the crowd if anybody wanted to play a game of cornhole. She said she wanted to play, so I figured, now's my chance. All I had to do was start a conversation and not say anything nerdy.
Do you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Nailed it!
Oh my god, I love that show.
Right? So whom is your favorite character?
Who?
You're right, who?
Oh, I am Anya.
I relate to her so much. That could be because I'm autistic.
Oh, cool.
But I'm also told I'm a mix between Xander and Spike. But my favorite character would have to be Willow.
Willow is such a fun person. Joss Whedon is a lovely human being.
Yes, a gentleman with a firm feminist philosophy.
I love alliteration.
Oh, I have an apt attitude towards alliteration. Appealing?
Awkward. And that was not just cheesy dialogue. We actually said that to each other.
Yes!
Damn it!
Good job!
So, out of curiosity, are you together?
Oh, no.
I just want to make sure I'm not pissing anyone off if I flirt with you.
No, I'm not with anyone.
We ended up talking for hours. Even after the game ended, we just found a corner and talked. We talked about TV shows, feminism, social justice, books, and autism. I felt a connection. At the time, I wasn't sure if it was romantic, but I certainly did want to get to know her better. We began texting and hanging out, and the more I got to know her, the more I realized that I had finally found a neurotypical that understood me.
I sometimes feel a bit like an outsider. I didn't have a lot of friends in school.
A neurotypical that I had so much in common with.
I grew up watching animals get butchered. The process always fascinated me.
She's socially awkward.
The excitement of others sometimes makes me depressed.
She feels like it's her duty to make inappropriate jokes.
He said duty.
She gets overstimulated easily.
Oh my god, turn the volume down! Really? 85? Were you just turning it up when I wasn't paying attention?
She's obsessive.
My new hobby for the day. Calling Senator Grassley's office every 15 minutes as 4 of the contact offices cannot accept messages. The mailbox is too full. Seems like it might be a bit of a problem if a representative cannot hear messages from his constituents.
She is direct.
Hello, Senator Grassley's office? Hi, I'm calling in regard to the senator's decision to support Brett Kavanaugh. Could you please tell the senator to search for his backbone wherever he misplaced it after Trump was elected?
She has the same issues with eye contact.
I find that if you just look at people's noses, they'll never know you aren't actually looking them in the eye.
Oh shit. She's an autistic.
Now, statistically, 2 autistics being in a relationship together tends to have stronger bonds than mixed couples. But I had met Jess after I learned how to date neurotypicals. You see, I had learned subtlety, and now I had to completely unlearn it. We began texting constantly. It was a continuous conversation that went on for days, and then weeks. We talked on the phone, and it wasn't awful. To put that into perspective, this is me talking on the phone normally.
Hi, is this Papa John's? I mean, Domino's. I mean, what is it? Yes, I called. Pizza Hut. Right. Okay, good. Yes. So, yes. I like a pizza? Yes, a pizza. Pickup. No, delivery. I mean, which one's the one where you bring it? Delivery, right. Because the name is delivery. I like a large. How big is the large? Okay, then I'll have a medium. Yes. Pepperoni? Yeah, pepperoni, right? Of course you do. You're a pizza place and all. And that's it. No, wait. Can I get a sausage as well?
And this was me talking to Jess.
My parents used to have a goat.
I love goats. They are so cute.
Yes, his name was Bert. He used to try to run at me and try to ram me whenever I was in his pen. But then one day he tried, I just punched him in the face. He never tried to do that again. I love that goat.
When I have my own house, I'm definitely going to have goats. Why was his name Bert?
Because his brother's name was Horny.
That's great. Where's his brother?
We ate him.
Oh, cool. What do goats taste like?
Kind of like lamb.
I love lamb.
Lamb is delicious.
I've always wanted to raise goats to make goat milk.
I actually had this one ice cream bar that was made with goat milk and blackberries.
I wish I could still eat ice cream.
Due to health reasons, she doesn't really eat carbs.
It's a shame. Otherwise, I would ask you if you would like to get ice cream with me sometime.
I like trees. A lot. Maybe we could go to the Arboretum sometime.
I'm free this Saturday.
I could pick you up at noon.
Alright, sounds good.
Well, I need to go. But I'll see you on Saturday.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Wait, so is this a date?
We had been talking nonstop for the last 3 weeks, and we hadn't yet established if it was romantic or friendly. But the nice thing about it was that it really didn't matter. Jess was my friend, and I enjoyed talking to her outside of anything commitment related. And that's how our outing to the Arboretum worked. We just talked. We never touched. We never held hands. We didn't even hug until we said goodbye. We just talked. We spent 3 hours walking around the Arboretum, talking about our love for dogs, our hate for sports, our passion for social justice. And then we went to Chipotle and spent another 2 hours talking about our hopes, our dreams, our desires. We didn't establish what it was until our ride back.
Thanks for driving. I really enjoyed this.
Me too. You're really easy to talk to.
Yeah, I have that effect on people.
Effect.
Really? I never understood when to use which.
Effect is a noun. Affect is a verb.
Huh, that makes sense.
Do normal people correct each other's grammar?
I don't know. I see it as a game.
At this point, I wanted to figure out if we were on a date. So I tried to come up with the subtlest possible way to clarify it.
So, did you notice that I was flirting with you when we first met?
Nailed it!
No, I didn't.
I literally told you I was.
Figuratively?
No, literally. I said I just want to make sure I'm not pissing anyone off if I flirt with you.
Oh, that was flirting?
Yes!
I don't usually pick up on stuff like that. I'm not really used to people flirting with me.
Really? But you're like cool and pretty and stuff.
Thanks.
Did you notice me flirting with you today?
Yes, I did.
Does that mean this was a date?
I don't know. Does it?
If you want it to be.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I'm not ready to make any official commitments. I have had a lot of bad experiences dating, but I'm fond of you and I want to get to know you more. So, I think this means we continue texting, go on some more dates, and if it goes well after a while, I ask you out and we become official on Facebook. Does that sound okay?
I think that sounds great.
Sweet!
I mean, this is the best date I've ever been on.
Really?
Well, you didn't stand me up. So yes.
You never been on a real date before?
Not really.
I'm sorry. I hope I gave you a good experience.
You did. Don't worry.
Well, I'll text you later.
I'm looking forward to it.
May I hug you?
We spent the next month continuing to go out on dates. We texted constantly. We called each other every day. I hadn't yet asked the sacred question. I knew she would say yes when I asked, but I wanted to make it special.
So, I'm working on a magic trick, and I was wondering if I could test it on you.
You do magic?
Yeah, they don't call me Merlin for nothing!
People call you Merlin?
No, but if they did, it wouldn't be for nothing.
Is this one of those is this your card tricks?
Kind of. Pick a card! Memorize it!
Okay, it's memorized.
3 of spades.
Now put it at the bottom of the deck.
Are you just gonna then take the card from the bottom of the deck and then show it to me?
No, just put it at the bottom of the deck. Abracadabra, alakazam, make magic stuff happen, man. All right, now let's look at these cards. Huh, it appears that there is a card that is turned over. Is that your card?
No? Ha! That is not my card.
Are you sure?
Yep, you messed up.
Jess, look again.
No, I made specifically sure to remember that it was the...
That's really sweet.
So I think this is the part where you say yes or no?
It's not my card. But yes.
And I know that wasn't your card, because this was.
June 15th, 2015. An advantage to dating an autistic. we don't forget the dates of anniversaries. Disadvantage to dating an autistic. We don't often see the logic in celebrating. You see, when it comes to dating autistics, there aren't really rules about anything. When it comes to dating neurotypicals, there are rules about everything. So early in our relationship, I had to learn to just be direct. Which I guess is kind of a rule.
Best seat in the house.
Well, it's not a seat, it's a car.
But there are seats in the car.
We were at my local drive-in celebrating my completion of a few summer classes. We'd been together for about a month. I hadn't yet realized that she was autistic.
But we aren't going to be on the seats, we're going to be in the trunk.
Either way, good spot. I'm the best.
You're pretty good.
I can't believe I didn't pick up on it.
It was nice of your mother to let you and I borrow her car.
You and me.
You and me.
I'm excited. The trailer looked really good.
Isn't Tomorrowland based on a ride at Disney?
I think so. So is Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yeah, although they should have stopped after the first movie.
The first movie was so good. Plus, this movie has George Clooney. So it's probably not going to suck.
It sucked.
Huh, did you see that Trump is the front runner now?
Yeah, what a joke. I give him 2 more weeks.
2 whole weeks.
Maybe we should hope that they pick him. There was no way he would win the general.
Right.
How young we were.
It's nice to have someone I can rant with. I love how feminist you are.
Boy, I'm feminasty.
Again, we actually said that to each other.
I just got an email from the teacher. The final grades are posted.
Yeah, pull 'em up.
1 sec. There we go. B+.
Congrats.
Welcome, everyone, to the Family Drive-In Theater. We'll be getting started here tonight in about 15 minutes, so at this time, we'd like to invite anyone celebrating with us tonight to come up and tell us about it so we can give you a shout-out. So if you're here for a birthday or anniversary or something like that, make sure to come up and tell us about it.
Huh. So, we are celebrating something. I mean, I just finished summer classes and I'm getting ready for a new year.
I'm just saying.
Would you like me to go up and tell them about it?
I don't know. Would I?
Would you?
You know, it'd be, it'd be really funny though if we gave them a joke name or something like that.
Okay.
Well, I gotta use the bathroom.
Alright.
Like I said, I was used to dating neurotypicals. You aren't really supposed to be direct with them. Anyways, this interaction created a little bit of confusion. You see, what she didn't know was that I was joking. And what I didn't know was that she didn't know that I was joking. It's hard enough being an autistic dating a neurotypical. It's even harder when you're an autistic who thinks they're dating a neurotypical.
Hey, I saw you over there.
Yes, you did.
What was that about?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would.
Just wait.
Welcome, everyone, to the Family Drive-In. We've got one celebration tonight. There's a gentleman down on the second screen who just finished up summer classes and has chosen to celebrate with us tonight. So, I'd like to get a good shout-out from Mike Hunt.
What?
Mike Hunt is now preparing for junior year classes at James Madison University. So, we'd like to wish Mike Hunt a great new year. And once again, thank you for joining us at the Family Drive-In.
It gets better.
One thing we like to do here for shout-outs is a round of horns. So, can I get a round of horns for Mike Hunt? Come on, y'all can do better than that. Let's get a good round of horns for Mike Hunt.
Oh my God, they're gonna kick us out.
They are very horny for Mike Hunt.
I would have laughed harder if I wasn't terrified of being banned for life. It was a good moment in our relationship, though. I finally understood how I needed to communicate with her. And she had one of the best laughs of her life. And And we now have a story that kills at parties. In hindsight, I probably should have figured out that I was meant to be with an autistic pretty early in my dating career. I come from a long list of failed relationships with neurotypicals. I even had a 2-month curse for a while. It started my sophomore year of high school. I had just had a really bad breakup after a year-long relationship. I had that childish feeling that I would never love again and that the whole world had ended. Hey, even autistics can be pathetic when it comes to romance. Anyways, that summer, I met a girl. We started dating when school started. I asked her to homecoming. It was a wonderful night that came with the realization that we were nothing alike. We had a mutual breakup a week later, about 2 weeks shy of 2 months. And then I had another relationship that spring, which ended with me getting dumped 2 days shy of 2 months, and then another 2 weeks shy of 2 months relationship the following winter, and then again the following spring. My freshman year of college, I finally broke the 2-month streak, only to promptly get dumped a few weeks before our 1-year anniversary.
Look, I'm not going to stand up here and say that they were all terrible people, or that I hate them, or even that they wronged me. They were all amazing people, and each relationship taught me something. But the heart can only break so many times before you start to wonder if there's enough left over for when you meet the right person. So as my relationship with Jess continued, I was terrified of being dumped at pretty much every major milestone.
When 2 months passed, and it didn't end, I was relieved. But I was also worried that it was too good to be true. I learned never to take a relationship for granted. At the same time, I wasn't sure if love could develop again. Thankfully, I was wrong, but I kind of found out by accident. We were at my college apartment, playing Cards Against Humanity with my roommate, and I may have had a drink or two.
I'm gonna have to go with Rush Limbaugh's Soft Shitty Body.
What? Kids with ass cancer always wins.
Or maybe it was 6 drinks?
Yes, thank you.
God damn it.
Here you go, Nathan.
Alright. War, what is it good for? And give me something really good. Like a cow fart.
Or 8?
I got you, man.
Oh yes.
Alright. War, what is it good for? Some peace and goddamn quiet. Oh, that's a good one. Republicans? Oh, that is great. Republicans wins. Who had it?
Me.
God, I love you.
You ever said the wrong thing? At the wrong time, surrounded by the wrong people, with the wrong blood alcohol content. I remember being terrified. I wanted to sink into the couch cushions and disappear. But then I started to wonder.
I need to grab some ice.
Did I? Did I love her? Could I? Did I still remember what love felt like?
I should probably go help him.
Get ice.
Well, you know, the little bastards stick together.
And if I did love her, did I just screw everything up?
Hey,
Hey! I'm sorry, I didn't want the first time to be like that. I'm sorry.
did you mean it?
I don't know, it just slipped out.
So, what does this mean?
you deserve, for the first time you hear that, to be special. So, for now, let's just say it doesn't count. Let's spend more time reflecting on it before we decide if we are ready to start using that word.
All right, sounds good.
Great.
I think I love you too.
Love is both a reaction and a realization. For me, it took an unconscious message to realize it for the first time. For her, it took hearing the word, love. Love is the word that the English language has chosen to classify nature's chemical way of tricking us into reproduction and the companionship necessary for the survival of our species. Logically, I knew that. But when that word slipped out of my mouth, I had given meaning to the growing connection that I had been feeling for months. A few weeks later...
Hey Jess, can I ask you something?
You can?
Now I'm not saying I'm going to, but if I were to use the L word in a direct reference to you right now, would you say it back?
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
So began the usage of the word love. I was more comfortable with what we had, and more confident that it was what we both wanted. At the same time, I also felt as if this meant that I had more to lose. I could never shake that fear that one day it would just end abruptly. The next milestone was 1 year, and as the 1 year mark approached, I became more and more nervous. Then one day...
Hey, Nathan.
Hey Jess, what's up?
I really need to talk to you.
The scariest thing a partner can tell you.
Do you want me to come over?
Yes, and then can we head to the Arboretum to talk?
All right, I'll be there in a half hour.
Thanks. See you soon.
Shit!
Cue the speculative internal monologue.
This is it! This is where it ends. A few weeks shy of a year, now it's going to end. She's gonna dump me! No, she's not. Yes, she is! I've heard that tone before. I know what that tone means. I'm autistic. Why am I trusting my ability to read a tone? What if she's not trying to dump me? What if she's pregnant? Shit! I'm not ready to be a father. In 9 months, I'll still be finishing up my senior year of college. I can't take care of a kid. What's worse, being dumped or pregnancy? What if she's dumping me because she is pregnant? What if she's dying? That would be better. No, wait, that'd be much worse. What's the widower version of a boyfriend? Ah, damn it, stop speculating. She's going to dump me. She's pregnant. She's going to dump me. She's pregnant. Oh, she is definitely going to dump me. Why did I expect this to be so different?
I knew that this speculation was unhealthy. Whatever was bothering her, I needed to be there for her. I needed to listen to her, and I needed to let her speak at her own rate.
You sounded upset. Why are you upset? I'm sorry. Why are you upset?
Nailed it?
I got laid off.
All right! Of course, that is bad. That is. I am so sorry.
Company was making cutbacks and they prioritized workers based on years employed.
Those bastards! What an awful situation.
Are you okay?
I thought you were going to dump me.
What?
We were almost to our 1 year, and things were going great. And I thought you were going to dump me.
Why would I dump you if things are going great?
Because that always seems to happen.
So let me get this straight then. You thought that I called you over to come with me to the Arboretum, the location of our first date, so that I could dump you and then have the most awkward car ride home?
You know, when you put it like that, I perhaps was over-speculating.
Nathan, I know you've been hurt before, but I would never do something like that to you.
I'm sorry, it's just, I've heard that before.
What?
I'll never hurt you, or I'll never break up with you.
I'm not saying I'll never hurt you. I probably will at some point. People make mistakes in relationships that result in their partners getting hurt. I'm not even saying I'll never break up with you. Maybe we won't work out in the end. But what I would never do is hurt you out of malice or break up with you out of the blue. If our relationship was ever in trouble, I would tell you so that we could work on it.
I'm sorry.
For what?
For assuming the worst. You deserve more credit than that. It's just that we have something that I like and I want. And I'm afraid to lose it.
Me too. But you aren't in danger of that right now.
And you just got fired.
Laid off.
Laid off. And you're upset.
Yep.
Tell me about what happened and we can figure out the next step together.
And we did. A few weeks later, we found her a new job. And we made it to 1 year. We have now been together for 3 years. And something tells me that she's here to stay. Because she moved here with me. This is significant. Because we're from Virginia. For those of you that are adept at geography, you know that Virginia and Iowa are not close. I mean, Iowans are so friendly, they sorry me to death every time they bump into you at the grocery store. In Virginia, people are polite, but because they assume you have a gun. Think of it as politeness by mutually assured destruction. So moving to Iowa was a major step for us. When I first broached the idea of taking the deal for Iowa, I called Jess up and I asked her,
This would mean me moving to the Midwest. I'd like to ask you something, but I don't want to pressure you.
Hey, it's okay. We are partners. You can ask me.
Is that something you can see yourself doing with me?
Moving to the Midwest?
Yeah.
I don't know. That is a big step.
Take all the time you need.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Now, in my mind, I was asking her to put it on her radar. In her mind, I was asking her to move in with me. So 2 days later, she calls me up and she says,
Fuck it. Let's move to the Midwest.
Wait, really?
Yeah?
It's been 2 days.
Yeah?
Are you sure you don't need another week?
Nope.
Or 10?
Nope.
Okay, well, I gotta go do my other stuff.
Okay. Love you. Can't wait to move in. Bye.
Shit!
and at that moment, I realized,
I don't know if I'm ready for this. I would have moved to Iowa with me. Why would she want to?
and you can't very well tell your partner that. You can't ask someone to think about moving in with you and then be like, wait, what? No, bad connection, talk to me about it in a few months. No. That would be like telling everyone that you want to lower taxes on the middle class, but then fucking them over so rich people can pay less. Plus, autistics are not very good with change. We had spent all of this time learning how to talk to people in Virginia, and now we would need to learn to talk to people in Iowa. No offense, but Iowans are the worst neurotypicals. You see, Iowans are friendly, but not polite. Meaning that you can have conversations about things you don't care about with people you don't like for hours, which can sometimes be difficult for autistics. For example, this is what you all sound like to us.
Alright, just the rotisserie chicken?
Oh, the garlic herb. I haven't tried that yet. Is it good?
I like it well enough.
They make a good rotisserie chicken.
They do.
Full dinner.
Yep.
Now all you need is a side.
Or you could just turn it into stock.
Big mistake.
What do you mean by stock?
Like soup. Using the chicken bones to make soup.
Oh, so like broth. How do you do that?
Get a pot, fill it with water, put the chicken bones in it, boil the water, and then let it simmer for a while.
And you use that to make soup.
Christ, is someone holding a gun to your head?
Yes, we turn it into soup.
Is it good?
Yes, it's quite good.
Well, you have yourself a wonderful soup tonight.
Thanks. You too. I mean night. Have a good night.
Worst corn crick rough.
Now, the cashier did not actually care about the process of making chicken stock, and Jess did not want to explain it to a total stranger. But she felt like she had to accommodate this horribly awkward situation. Something that if we moved to Iowa, she would have to deal with. Which brings us to the main problem of asking her to move in with me. I don't really deserve her. And I don't mean that in that cliche sort of, I'm such a horrible person sort of way. No. I strongly believe that I am slightly less of a shit person than a majority of the population. But Jess is way ahead of me in that department. Sometimes she will just randomly call me up and be like,
Hey, I just wanted to see how you were doing and let you know that I'm thinking about you and I love you and I am so proud of you and I cannot wait to be in your arms again.
and then literally half the time I'll just be like,
Thanks, babe.
Jess is also a lot more socially aware than me. And I don't mean that politically. I know a lot more about politics than she does. I mean that she tends to be more socially aware of social constructs than me most of the time. One of our favorite pastimes is rewatching movies from our childhood and critiquing them from an adult perspective. And when I say adult perspective, I mean nitpicky autistic perspective. For example, we recently rewatched An American Tail.
I remember this movie having a lot of interesting commentary related to immigration. I'm pretty sure it didn't suck.
It sucked.
Alright, let's try it.
Ooh, the animation has not aged well.
When Jess and I watch movies together, we often pause it every 10 minutes to either discuss the social implications of what we're watching or to criticize cartoon physics.
How does he still have his hat? It was off his head in the last shot and now he just pulls it out of his ass?
Maybe there's a belt on his back?
Oh, and now he's jumping through a storm and the hat just stays on his head? What does it have? Super glue?
Maybe it's just a really tight hat?
Oh, no, they do not get to pull that crap. They keep making it a point to show that the hat is too big on him.
Jess, can you not criticize every little aspect of this movie?
Fine.
Now, I can look past cartoon physics, but the one thing that I cannot tolerate in a movie, even a kid's movie, is a logical fallacy.
Never say never! You just said it twice! Your statement refutes its own premise.
It's about maintaining hope.
Bullshit! He is making a demand that cannot possibly be carried out while in the process of being a goddamn hypocrite. It's a logical fallacy.
It's not logically phallic. When people say that, they're acknowledging that, depending on the circumstance, it is appropriate to say never.
Jess, I think you mean fallacious. That means it looks like a dick.
Right.
And secondly, they are saying never say never. They are making an absolutist argument that defeats itself with its own absolutism by not practicing absolutism.
Can you not criticize every little aspect of this movie?
We autistics have trouble letting things go. All of this brings us back to the question of moving to Iowa together. You see, when we first visited here, I was still unsure about how I felt about us moving in together. But when we toured the campus and met the people, we looked at each other, and we knew that this was where we were going to spend the next few years of our lives together. This is significant for two reasons. One, we are two autistics who understood each other's nonverbals. And two, we now had a practical path for where we could take our lives together. When we were driving back after a trip to Iowa, I sat there just thinking about us, what defined us, what could define us, what she looks like when she's naked. Sorry, I have a very wild train of thought.
What is it?
Oh, nothing. Just thanks for taking this trip with me.
Of course.
And while we were having this tender moment,
Oh, fuck!
What the hell was that?
Oh my fucking god! You better fucking pull over!
I'm alive.
Get the fuck over!
I really need to be a better person.
I can't fucking believe this shit! I can't fucking afford to get this car fixed!
Can we just appreciate these mountains for a second?
I don't have enough money this month!
Oh my god. It's been 3 days since my last cheeseburger.
It's a brand new fucking car!
Are you guys alright?
I think so.
Damn it, I just had that part installed.
What was it?
It was a battery. Listen, just come with me, I'll give you my insurance information, and I'll pay for all the damages.
and as I sat there, pondering the meaning of life, and wondering if existence was meaningless because our consciousness dissolves into oblivion when we die, I realized that if I had died there, it would have been with her. And that would have been okay. Not okay that I died, but okay that my last few moments would have been spent with her. The trucker kept his word. All the damages were paid for, and Jess was able to get her car fixed. Everything worked out, for the most part. But I knew that there was still one more thing that I needed to do. Eventually, I called her back.
Hey, Jess.
Hey babe, what's up?
I just want to tell you something real quick.
Okay.
I can't wait to move to Iowa with you, and I can't think of anyone with whom I want to share my life with.
Whom?
Whom?
And we moved in together. In Iowa. It was a major step for our relationship. We lived together for about one semester, and we grew as people. But as we grew, we started to feel less and less like we should continue to be boyfriend-girlfriend. Sometimes that's just how it goes. So, on December 21st, 2017, I asked her to marry me. And she said yes. Afterwards, I fell to the floor and practically screamed. And then, on May 26th, 2018, we got married. And I'll never forget the autistic advice that my autistic father gave me right before the wedding.
So, I'm about to get married.
So it would seem, but you aren't married yet.
So, is this the part where you give me fatherly advice about marriage?
Marriage can be summed up by 2 words.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
That seems a little problematic.
Why?
Doesn't that imply an unequal power dynamic?
Eventually, you stop looking at your relationship through the lens of power dynamics.
But doesn't yes, ma'am create power dynamics?
No. Because power implies sides. And from now on, you're always on the same side. Even when you aren't. When you succeed, she succeeds, and when she succeeds, you succeed. Even when you're working against each other, you're working for each other. All that really matters is that you're good to each other.
Yes, sir.
And then I walked out, and I got married. And the interesting thing about it was that it really didn't feel that much different. We were still the same people, and we still felt the same way about each other. I guess it was just nice to have the state also recognize that. So, there you go. 2 people meet, they fall in love, they get married. Classic story, classic happy ending. One that I wasn't supposed to have. Disability is stigmatized, and therefore it's a sensitive subject. We can't separate the person from the disability. We don't want to draw attention to the disability, so we divert attention away from the person, which means that their stories are not heard. My story is not heard. The therapist who said
Autistics don't have sex.
was only part of the problem, and only part of the story. The funny part of the story. I've been told my whole life that
Autistics don't have romances.
when one of my exes told her grandmother that she was with an autistic, her grandmother said,
Oh, well, that's never gonna work.
when my now mother-in-law told a coworker that her daughter was dating an autistic, her coworker said,
Aren't you worried he might be dangerous?
right now there's an article on 4chan about a video that I did with a girl I was dating at the time, with comments that read, and I quote,
Some fake-ass autistic has a girlfriend way cuter than any I've ever had.
and another one that says,
She has a cute girlfriend and friends. That alone tells me he is not autistic.
I used to be scared to tell girls that I was interested in that I'm autistic. Because I thought that they would view me as a lost cause. Why wouldn't they? Society seems to have given up on me. But I have been with amazing people over the years. And although my other relationships didn't work out, they taught me that it was possible to be loved, not despite my autism, but because of it. So when I met Jess, it was one of the first things that I told her. Because if a person sees my autism as a barrier to loving me, then they don't deserve to see what that love looks like. Our story deserves to be heard. Because right now, there are millions of autistics around the world that believe that the only thing standing between them and love is their identity. And they need to know that that love is possible. They need to know that their love matters. It's up to all of us to spread that message. Whether you're autistic or neurotypical, it's up to you And I.
You and me.
Seriously?
I'm sorry, but you can't end a call to action on a grammatical error.
I'm spilling my heart out here.
How did you screw that one up? Come on. It's up to I? No, it's up to me.
Seriously? You're taking her side? I would think that you of all people would be with me on this.
You argue with your brother more than you argue with your brother-in-law. Narcissist.
That was uncalled for.
You made your master's thesis a play about yourself.
You see what I've got to deal with?
Love you.
Love you too.
So I know that we could do this all day, but I gotta give a presentation to Kate's class.
Oh. The one about Wolfenstein?
Yeah!
Oh.
What? How did I do?
Oh. Wonderfully. You nail it.
Great! See you later!
Does he actually do very well?
No, he totally hurts it.
Well, I should probably go get ready to comfort him.
Yeah, he'll need that.
Well, I guess I'll see you around.
I'll see you. I still don't think I deserve her. But with all of my flaws, this amazing girl seems to want me. And I think that she deserves what she wants.